You can use that to prop up, keep building on your cash account, average like 2 to 4% a month over like a couple of years. And in 10 years, if you started with 5 or 10K, it would be like probably, I think it's around 5 million.
Yeah, compounded.
Yeah, compounded, yeah. And it's a good way to sort of increase monthly cash flow.
So now I feel like I'm in a good position where I can just fully focus on what I want to do, what I love doing.
Do you work in the office part-time or how does that work?
No, sort of like a self-employed engineer. I try and get it so I'm only working like 2 or 3 shifts a week. I'm sort of trying to phase that out and then base trade it in.
For most people, it's like, you know, kids, maybe a job that's like full on, you're up and down, you might be driving a lot as well. And that does affect your manual trading results. And unfortunately, that is the reality of most people.
I've gone down the rabbit hole like with trading view indicators, modifying them, getting them automated. So like all my trading indicators now, it's fully automated. I don't really have to draw anything.
Once you've learned the software, once you've understood it and sort of created your portfolios and deployed them and got them running, and it's kind of set up, it's kind of in a maintenance phase after that. And then from there, it becomes a lot easier because it's just a case of monitoring it every week or so. Kind of what I like to do, it's almost called like prop firm farming, I guess. Is okay, I'll put up this amount of money and I know I'm going to pass this amount of challenges and then get through this amount of verifications. And then I'll have maybe 2 funded accounts at the end. Then I'll run a system to get payouts and then the payouts churn and then it goes back in. And the ROI, typically, I like to see around a 5x ROI. The money going into what's coming out, if that makes sense. Because realistically, that's what matters. It doesn't really, you've got a and a B, A being the money putting in, B being the payouts. It doesn't really matter about the middle as long as it's a working system going in and then coming out and then it goes back into the system and then it's a good cycle like that. That's a good way to do it, especially first start if you've not got a big cash amount to set up on a baseline like a cash account where there's no restrictions at all. And it's a good way to sort of increase monthly cash flow like straight off the bat. And you can either, you can use that as like living expenses or you can use that as to, if you've already got your expenses covered, you can use that to prop up your cash account and keep building on your cash account, average like 2 to 4% a month over like a couple of years, and then keep compounding that. And in 10 years, that cash account would be like, if you started with 5 or 10K, you're looking at probably, I think it's around 5 million.
Yeah, compounded.
Yeah, compounded, yeah. The sweet spot, I'd say, is probably like 0.2 to 0.3 per trade. And typically, what I like to do is stick to not too many assets. I'll probably just run 2 or 3, so like NAS and gold, and then potentially throw in some US 30 as well, but you kind of only really need 2. And for that particular setup, you only really need 2. It gives you a little bit of sense of clarity when you leave like full-time work and then go into like full-time building companies pretty much and trading and stuff like that. So it's like, it kind of gives you like a little turbo boost.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, everything you're building, you're not making somebody else rich, are you? You start benefiting you and people around you.
Yeah, 100%. And like for you, because you'd say you want to, get good cash flow, leave work, and then transition into full time. Algorithmic trading is 100% going to do that. It's going to give you the cash flow, and then it's about scaling from that. Like I said, like you'll be able to get say 5 or 10K per month from the market, and then if you want to get more, you can increase capital, or you can simply start selling the algo. You can start on some markets. You can, like I said, you can copy trade. People can copy trade you. You can, set up a business to pass props, and you can do so many things to scale it. And then like that 5 or 10K, you can keep that as it is and then bolt on another 5K from somewhere else, another 10K. And then before you know it, you're at like 20, 25K. But then like, and if you're happy with that, just fucking stick with that, So that's the power of algo trading and bringing it in to scale up and create a business, really.
Yeah. That's crazy. And that's the downside of Instagram these days. People make it look so easy, and then so many people fucking throw their life savings at something that they've spent 3 months looking at. Any other walk of life, you would never do it. But I don't know why.
Yeah, it's a journey, man. Like, it's important to pay for solid education and stuff like that. But like, same with like any sort of trading or craft. But like, most people just fall foul to like DMO and all the other signal providers. So it's one of them. But like, in terms of like what, with trading, what problems were you having, I guess? Was it more so like the need to go to algo trading from manual trading? Was it more just out of curiosity, or it kind of, you'd think it'd solve a problem you had with your manual trading?
Probably a bit of both. So like manual trading been very stop-start. So
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago, we travelled for a year, and coming off the back of there, I was getting consistent payouts. I was funded with FTMO for 200k, and then since I got back, because engineering, I sort of just said, right, I'm gonna do engineering for a bit, guaranteed income. I know I can earn a
Yeah.
good amount. So my trading's taken a bit of a. So now I feel like I'm in a good position where I can just fully focus on what I want to do, what I love doing.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I mean, that's kind of one of the biggest things I see with most people is like making trading, especially manual trading, work for your schedule. It wasn't too bad for me 'cause I was in an office job anyway. But for most people, it's like, kids, maybe a job that's like full on, you're up and down, you might be driving a lot as well.
Yeah.
And that does affect your manual trading results. And unfortunately, that is the reality of most people. The trajectory of AI, it's almost starting to do like parabolic almost.
Yeah, it's parabolic. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see the next 5 years. That's why I'm so like confident and stuff like that with algo trading, with AI. It's the future, literally.
Yeah, everyone's trying to automate everything, aren't they?
The only thing is never ever going to replace is construction. So, electrical hands-on, electrical engineering, electricians, plumbers. So there's I feel like what's gonna happen is there's gonna be a big redundancy in like things which AI can replace, and there'll be a massive boom in like the stuff that AI can't replace.
Well, then people lose their meaning, don't they? Then you think, what's the point in? What's the point?
To make it.
Yeah.
Like, they're getting paid the same to just stay at home than they would be at work. So it's like there is, and at that point, it is if you're
No
a human,
incentive.
like no, exactly. There's actually no incentive because like they might go into work, they might fucking hate their job, they hate the people they work with, like they can literally sit at home and do nothing and get paid the same. It's like